The push. When God pushes you into another spirit realm, there's no turning back because He pushes you so far out of your comfort zone into another dimension, into another level. You can't go back. You can't even turn around, or it will feel as though you are stepping off of a ledge. There's nothing there that you can revisit. He has removed all your comfort, cushions, hang-ups, and distractions. The push is about God launching you forward, pushing you past people, places, and things that are causing you to deviate from His will and His purpose that He has for you. And sometimes the push doesn't feel good because it moves us away from our friends and separates us. We think our circle of friends is placed in our lives to help support, inspire, and motivate us to arrive at the next level. And perhaps they are, but only for a season. And sometimes you will realize that God may have never placed them there at all. Sometimes we place them there to fill a void of being alone. And oftentimes, when we are alone, it is then that God says, "Are you ready now?" It forces you to push past all the fears and tears and remain focused on doing the will of God. We call this transition growing pains, for it is indeed a moment of shifting, transitioning, pushing, launching, and growing. My pastor slash husband, Pastor Benji T. Nobles, once stated, "It is not in the crowd that God's purpose and plans for your life are realized. It is being pulled from the crowd and being isolated that God's purpose plans are created, and they're called and completed." Women of God, this push is real. It's real because it's pushing past all your distractions and emotions and focusing on God. It's real because it feels like an intense driving force or spiritual motivation pushing you in your back. It's real because we are emotional beings who live and walk daily in our flesh, and the enemy doesn't want us to prosper. 2 Corinthians 10:3 through 5 states, "For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations, and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ." Push past it all and stay focused. Push past the fears, the uncertainties, and being uncomfortable. Push past the distractions and the fact that you cannot take your friends with you. When I became a pastor's wife, I thought meeting and connecting with other pastors' wives would be a huge support group. Boy, was I wrong. But when I learned But what I learned was that all these women had their own transitions and their struggles or lunch movements going on and could not give me the support that I needed during my time of being alone. Every time I would attempt to move towards their circle, God would hold me back. He needed to keep me by myself, alone, so I could hear his voice, his call, his direction. The push is simply when you have been sanctioned and commissioned by or feel the unction of the Holy Spirit to move forward into God's purpose and plan for your life. You will feel the push because the time has expired for complacency, and you will feel the push when the time has expired for comparing yourself to others. You will also feel the push when the time has expired for having low self esteem, for murmuring and complaining. You will be pushed towards the desire for more. Your cease and desist now becomes a seek and search. You will begin to search for something new. That's not a coincidence, that's divine providence. God is pulling and tugging and pushing you into your destiny, even if it means saying goodbye to your old season of friends, relationships, jo- jobs, situations, and circumstances. When you feel this tug on your life, this pressure in your mind, and the unsettling in your heart, don't take it lightly. It is real. It is a divine intervention. It is God. It is the push.